Schizoaffective disorder. What is schizoaffective disorder? It is a mental health disorder in which a person or persons experiences a combination of symptoms that are similar to those of schizophrenia and a mood disorder. It causes people to struggle in their daily lives. It is a disorder that complicates the functions of a person's well being. This may come as a surprise to most people who don't have this disorder and can cause people to judge at a quicker pace than normal. A person with this disorder functions on a different level than someone who does not have this disorder, leaving people in awe and disgust. There are a variety of symptoms that come along with this disorder. Things such as hallucinations or delusions, mood disorders, bipolar disorder, or even depressive disorder. There are two types of disorders that are usually connected to this disorder, and those are bipolar type and depressive type. Now, the schizoaffective bipolar type will have manic or mania episodes and sometimes major depression as well. Then to have schizoaffective depressive type, which is the type where you are going to have major depressive episodes. Either way, this diagnosis will help you better understand as to why you or a person you know who has it is going through what they are going through. Most people don't understand and prefer not to take the time to understand the disorder. A lot of times, people, like I said, will pass judgment and wonder why people with this disorder are acting the way they do. Medication is definitely needed to help equal out the symptoms and put them at an even tone. If you go unmedicated with this diagnosis, it can cause a lot of problems as to getting and keeping a job, trouble in school, conflicts with family and friends, loneliness, and even attempts of suicide. People with this diagnosis may need to get help from another person to function properly in daily life, leaving it hard for them to be on their own. Symptoms: delusions, having false or fixed beliefs despite evidence of the contrary. Hallucinations, seeing and hearing things that aren't there. Impaired communication, such as being incoherent. Bizarre and unusual behaviors. Period of manic moods. High energy, low energy, sleeping too much, behaviors that are out of order. Character: impaired occupational, social functionings, problems with managing personal care, suicidal behaviors. Causes: more than likely genetic or passed down. Risk factors: having a close blood relative, parent or sibling who may have this disorder, stressful events that may cause triggered symptoms, and taking mind altering drugs. Complications: suicide attempts, suicide thoughts, social isolation, family and interpersonal conflicts, unemployment, anxiety disorder, alcohol, and other drug use. This disorder can cause major health issues for the person that is diagnosed with this disorder and can also cause the person to be homeless as well. I myself suffer from this schizoaffective disorder, and if I go unmedicated, it makes it complicated for me to function properly in everyday life. How does this disorder make me feel? It makes me feel like I have truly lost my mind. It is hard for me to function and get anything done. It makes it hard for me to make friends, let alone be able to express myself properly the way without getting frustrated and angry because I can't exactly get out what I want to say out the right way. People tend to get very offended by things I say when I'm trying to express myself. So it is easier for me to write down what I to say instead of verbally voicing it out. It is no strain it is so strange how people can get better understandings when you write something down than when you voice it out. I have gotten into fights and been to jail because of it, something I'm not proud of. I have also tried taking my life several times. This was all due to the lack of medication and being off my meds for a long time. I wish I could be like other people where they take meds for so long and then they are good. Not me. I will have to be on my meds for the rest of my life. As long as it is helping me, I can't complain because it stabilizes every little thing, making it easier for me to function in life. People who are diagnosed with this disorder or mental health illness tend to react in a poor way to someone who has the people who are not, diagnosed with this disorder or mental health illness tend to react in a poor way to someone who has this disorder or mental health illness. They will push aside the feelings of those who are suffering from the illness and make a judgment as to making that person feel as if it's their fault they have it. I don't see how people can be so cruel to other people and push their feelings down the drain. As a person who suffers from this on a daily basis, I feel for those who suffer from it as well. I see more people who suffer from it helping other people who are suffering from it as well, more than those who don't. But that is just the things I observed from my point of view. A person who doesn't have the mental health disorder or illness will have a harder time understanding and may not even want to know about the person's illness. Everyone's outlook on it is going to be different, and their feelings towards the person who has it will be different as well. Then again, you do have, if you select people who aren't diagnosed with it that are willing to be there and help the person out. I can definitely say that my man has been very understanding and has been willing to help me through whatever problems I may be having at the time. He stuck by my side throughout it a lot, and I love him so much for that. I know that is hard on him as well as it hard on me. There are people out there that are willing to take the time to help those in need with this illness out. How bad does it get? It can get pretty intense. Speaking from experience, I once again have a hard time functioning and concentrating when I am hearing and seeing this. Sometimes the voices get so loud that I can't block them out and I have to lock myself in my room. And steer clear of other people. When the voices talk to me, they never have anything good to say. It is always negative projections that come out. They will tell me how worthless I am and how I am not good, and tell me that I deserve bad things to happen. They have even told me to hit people. That is when I steer clear of people and isolate myself. I have been known to be rude and very bitchy towards people that haven't done anything, and it is a way of protecting them and protecting myself. The visions are even worse than the voices. What I see are like demon people with hooves and fur and horns on top of it. They are always in plain sight and follow me wherever I may go. They like to taunt me. There was this one time my kids and I were staying in a shelter, and I was waiting in line to get my meds, and one of the creatures I see was standing by someone and laughing. They then entered the body of that person and completely changed who that person was to someone who was from my past that I had a problem with. I ended up yelling at what I was seeing and not realizing that it wasn't the person from the past, but some random person. I can tell you that that person looked at me like there was something wrong with me because I was yelling, trying to get what I was seeing attention to get away from the person. I felt really bad and apologized for yelling and said that I wasn't yelling at them, but what was standing next to them, and that I was trying to protect the person from any harm. Once again, I'm pretty sure that person thought I was crazy. I normally can tell the difference from what I am seeing and what is real, but sometimes it gets so bad that I can't even tell the difference. So tell me in your own words how bad you think that it gets. I would love to hear your input on it. Do what I can to help people, help lessen the symptoms. The big one here is make sure I take my meds like I'm supposed to. Don't get me wrong, medication is always a hit and miss when it comes down to it, but they really do help for the most part. Another way I can help to calm the symptoms down is by using my coping skills and trying to distract myself from focusing on what is there to me and not someone else. I can also calmly talk to what I am seeing and try to tell them that they aren't real and that they need to leave me alone and go away. But the big thing to do is take medications and let it kick in and distract myself by focusing on something else to ease my mind. These are just a few things that I deal with when it comes to the schizoaffective disorder that I was diagnosed with. I have had voices and visions ever since I was a kid. I thought that it was normal to have this and that everyone else was just like me. So I paid no mind to it. I started getting worse when I got older and I had a harder time dealing with it. Knowing what I know, it makes it easier for me to calm the symptoms down. I was diagnosed about 6 years ago with schizoaffective bipolar disorder, and to this day, it makes it hard for me to function. Negative thoughts always creeping in, and unwanted feelings as well. So I feel for all of you that are suffering with it as well, because I know the feeling. It isn't easy to live life with this disorder. If we all stick together, we can help each other out and also pray that things will get better for us. But for now, this is a little of my story and a little bit about what this disorder is. I hope that I could ease your mind, and I hope that me sharing a little bit about what I'm going through on a daily basis helps you feel at ease. Just always remember you aren't alone, and you always have people out there that care and will want to help. Just stay strong and remember you are you, and it's okay. So, I really hope you enjoyed that. That was one of my writings. Like I said in my writing, I suffer from mental health issues. Uh, Main one is the schizoaffective bipolar type disorder, and it is really hard on me. So I know there's a lot of people out there that struggle with mental health and don't really have the support that they need. But I do like sharing my writings and what I've been through with my mental health with people. So, like I said, I hope it helps you and makes you feel a little more at ease.